May I speak in the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The Lord made it known to me, and I knew. Who is the greatest? And Jesus took a child in his arms and said, "Whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes not me, but the one who sent me." Who is the greatest? Not me, but the one who sent me. Who is this one? How can we know this one? When I was small, I knew the Lord in the most finite expressions of the world. The crocus in the snow, tiny daffodils, a presence I could feel alive and smiling. Later, it was Jesus Christ who took my hand, gently touched my head, and led me over the threshold, showed me my place at the great banquet. But it has always been you who have loved me so carefully and fervently and insistently. On a long bike ride in France, fields of flowers, ripening grapes, cows stretching out under the sun to the vanishing point of blue sky, clusters of tiled red roofs, the warm golden light, the scents, the absolute liberty of movement. With my body I thee worship. The love that was expanding from my very rib cage was directed at first toward the man, Jesus. But in a flash I knew that the man, Jesus, was a teacher in Palestine, focused on mission and message, lived in a time and place far from me. The one whose delight I felt was you. It is you who are in ecstasy in the joys of a summer day in the French countryside. Your ecstasis, your out-of-body experience is to feel through mine, for it is yours. You made it, all of it. The blackberries on the side of the road on the way to prayer, the sky dark and voluptuous with stars. It is you who wake me gently in the middle of the night to fill my whole being with iridescent silver polyphony of rain in the leaves. It is you with me as my feet run and I fly along the river under bursts of flame-colored leaves. And it is you whose heart is broken, who feels our suffering and our disaster with sharp sorrow. Jeremiah writes, "Oh, that my head were a spring of water, and my eyes were fountains of tears, that I might weep day and night for my people." The Lord made it known to me, and I knew. Then you showed me their evil deeds. The more deeply I love the one, the more deeply I love you, my people. The more deeply I love the one, the more outrageous, stupid our evil seems. This is Jeremiah. Of God, he says, "You have seduced me, and I have been seduced." He is captivated by the very heart of God. And this great love opens his eyes to see the ways in which all of us are committed to deceit, unwilling to turn back, unwilling to admit our manifold sins and wickedness. As a church, this is true. We have literally expunged those words from our liturgy. We will grudgingly admit, maybe we left some things undone. We weren't perfect. But we do not wish to confess. We do not wish to discover how deeply lost we are, how deeply wicked our lifestyle is, destroying man and creation alike, even as we sit here. And every one of the ways that we analyze what is terrible about our time, and we have many ways of analyzing it, every one of the ways relies on locating the blame on someone else, which means we are committed to deceit, committed to avoiding our complicity in, our continued creation of this time of terror and sorrow. Jeremiah is a prophet, and prophets don't have action plans. They don't speak truth to power. They speak to you and me. They speak to everyone as one. They make no distinction. They don't meet people where they're at. They don't try to speak in a way that won't lose people. Prophets don't care about that. Prophets feel deeply, agonizingly, the simultaneous joy and the rapture of knowing the one and the unbearable sorrow of our suffering. Jeremiah doesn't give the people a way back. He says the bad times are what we have sown and what we will reap, and they're going to last a long time. And there is no going back. There is no fixing. There is no, it will be okay if you turn back to God, just it will not be okay. The wickedness of this nation will have consequences that cannot be avoided. This message angered everyone who heard Jeremiah preach it. In fact, they're trying to kill him so they don't have to hear it. The prophet wants you to feel what they feel, just that, to be captured and mastered by the love of the one, the great I am, and to be overwhelmed by God's own sorrow at our evil. Pope Francis has said we should spend a lot more time weeping. Oh, that my head were a spring and my eyes were fountains, that I might weep day and night for our people. And what then of this Jesus, the Christ? Who is this Christ but the same one? This Christ, the Word from the beginning, in the beginning, whose communion with the one who sent him was so full, so perfect. This Christ who wished for us to see through him, to be like him in communion with the great I am. Cristo vive en mí. This Christ lives in me and opens the gate. Christ puts his arms around me, you, children, welcomes me, you, children, so that I may know I am held by none other than the Lord. Will this do anything? Will this get us anywhere? I do not know. I know I have heard my Lord, the Creator, and dwelt in him and he in me. We are of the same source. Christ in me, the Father so close, who is the greatest.